Hey everybody, I'm fixing to go live, or I'm going to go live and chit chat with you guys. I have missed you guys. I have been talking to y'all in a while, and I thought I would come on because I saw some videos that have been made today about some of my friends who have been getting harassed and bullied by a content creator here on TikTok. And I thought I would come on here and share about my experience with this content creator and, what I've gone through for the last year because of this person. So come on in. Come on in. I'm not going to be yelling. I'm not going to be screaming. I'm not going to be calling anybody names or anything like that. I'm just going to share with you guys what happened, the facts. Okay? So come on in, hang out, and let's talk. So it's come to light that a lot more people are stepping up because they have been victims of Tanya Catrone. Tanya Catrone was the therapist with naloxone. That therapist, that harm reduction chick, that therapist, Tanya was her name. She had all kinds of different accounts. She has like 5 accounts, okay? Which there's nothing wrong with having multiple accounts. We all have to do it because we get banned and stuff, And look at me, I have no problem with this woman except for that she won't stop harassing me. Except for that she called CPS on me. Except for that she's called the Board of Medicine in California and Arkansas on me. Except the fact that she posts about me and calls me a danger to people in the recovery community. So a lot more people are coming out and saying, yeah, she's done this to me. She won't stop. She won't leave me alone. People that are in the harm reduction community, the same community as her, she is bullying and harassing. She has gone as far to call Zach, the harm reduction guy's job on him. Okay? Like, this is out of control. Hey, what's up, girl? So, I hope that she is held accountable for her actions. If any of you guys have been victimized, harassed by Tanya, and you need a contact at the Board of Ethics in Ohio, message me. I have a lady, her name's Stephanie. She's super sweet, and you can send her all the videos, all the proof that you have. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to share with you guys what she has done to me, okay, because that's all I can speak on. So I started making videos in 2020, and I didn't come across her until 2021, okay? In 2021, I had made a video about Suboxone treatment, and I was sharing about the naloxone in Suboxone, because a lot of people think that naloxone is the active ingredient, but it's actually buprenorphine. So I was trying to explain to my followers that naloxone's, it's not really a high amount that gets into your system. And what I said was it's inactive, which was not correct. I should have said that its bioavailability is like less than 2%. And so I misspoke, which I will make mistakes from time to time. I'm not perfect, right? So she had commented on my video, was just commenting, berating me. So I took the video down and I messaged her and I said, hey, next time I say something that maybe isn't correct, why don't you message me and correct me, and I will take the video down. I am all about learning from my mistakes. And she was like, okay, and we left on good terms, and I thought everything was fine. The next morning, I woke up to check my boss's emails and his Instagram account and all these things, and guess what I found? A DM to my boss in his Instagram account. She had messaged my boss and told him that I was a danger to the recovery community, that I was passing around misinformation, and basically trying to get me in trouble with my job. When I tell you I saw this and my mouth dropped. I could not believe that this woman, who I had never had any interaction before in my life, would go as far on the first interaction as to contact my job. Okay? So I came on TikTok and I fucking told everybody. I got the fucking DM and I put it up in the background. I said, this woman messaged my job after one interaction. I've never talked to her in my life. Ever since then, she has not left me alone. She makes video after video after video accusing me of being a body broker. She makes video after video after video accusing me of spreading misinformation. She makes video after video after video calling me a trafficker, a human trafficker. She makes video after video of me saying that I am practicing medicine without a license. Okay? This woman is so, she's obsessed. That's the only way I can explain it, okay? Have you ever been in a relationship with a guy who will just not let you go? Like you don't want to be with him? Her name is Tanya Catrone. You just don't want to be with him and he will not leave you alone? This is what this is like. It's like it's like Fatal Attraction or something. Well, I thought I was the only one experiencing this harassment from her. Well, come to find out that there's like 5 or 6 other creators who she has called their jobs, tried to get them in trouble, trying to get them fired, fucking with them, okay? This is unacceptable, and this is a woman who is supposed to be a therapist or some kind of counselor. Well, I started researching that because I was like, there's no way that a woman that is a professional, that's a therapist, would be on TikTok acting the way she does. There's no way, right? So I started researching it a little bit, and that's when I found out, guess what? She's not a therapist. She's an assistant to a drug and alcohol counselor. She's not even a counselor yet. Wow. So I'm practicing medicine without a license when you're claiming to be a medical professional that you're not. That you're not. Okay, so right then I was like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like this woman is willing to lie about anything to hurt and harm other people. It's disgusting. Okay, TonjaCatron. And on here, she's called That Therapist with Naloxone, That Harm Reduction Chick, or That Therapist Tanya. So, like, I haven't talked about this in a long time because I just ignore her. I just ignore her and her little bandwagon of people who make videos about me and post about me on Facebook. I just ignore it. Well, she called CPS on me. And I would have never known, and I'm so grateful because there was people that were in her group chat. She had a little group chat of people that she would talk shit about me and other creators in, and she told them I called CPS on Nicole. You want to know why she called CPS on me? She said because I wiped sweat from underneath my bosom, which is, oh my gosh, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So she called CPS on me. Well, thankfully, the girls in her group chat came to me and told me, thank God, and let me know and sent me screenshots of her saying it. And I posted a video. If it's way down in my feed, I'll have to grab it and pin it for you guys. But it shows all the proof. Like, I wouldn't come up here and say any of these things if it wasn't true. Well, once she realized that her friends rolled on her, oh shit, you know what I mean? Shit's gonna hit the fan now. And when I tell you guys, like, I couldn't believe it. She sits here in the comment section of this woman on Facebook's account, and they talk about how I'm a bad parent. They talk about how I'm a bad mother. They try to get me in trouble with the law, so that way I'll fucking go to jail. They try to get me in trouble because my husband has his concealed carry license, and it's like, you guys, my husband can have his concealed carry as long as his guns are locked up and out of my access. I cannot touch them. I cannot be around them.
New visitor.
They have went as far as to call the state police on me. Like, it is unbelievable, and it will never stop. Like, I've begged these people to leave me alone, to just let me breathe. And she's doing it to other people here on TikTok too. And so I want those people to know, if you have been victimized by her, if she is harassing you, reach out to me. I have a contact. You can send my contact, all your proof. Okay? You can send it all to her. Okay? I have a contact at the Board of Ethics in Ohio. All I'm trying to do is make sure that she can't do this to somebody else. Because what if she becomes a therapist or a counselor and she doesn't like one of her clients? She's a mandated reporter is what she says. And she'll call CPS on him out of being vindictive, out of being mean, not because she has a general care and concern for anybody. Okay? Every person on this damn internet knows how I love my son and what a good mother I am and how much I do for my child. And to try and act as if I shouldn't have custody of my son is sickening. It's sickening. And that's what this woman is trying to do. That's what she'll go to any lengths to hurt you. If you challenge her, if she thinks that you're wrong or you shouldn't be doing what you're doing, she will not stop. She won't stop. This has been going on since 2021. Hey, good job. Thank you, girl. Thank you, Louisa. So here's the deal, okay? I am not about vindictively reporting people. That's not what I want to do. I only want people who have been victimized by her, who have videos, who have proof of her harassing them to reach out and send their proof in. Okay, I have sent over 25 videos in, okay? And if these people keep on getting enough complaints about her, then they will have to do something about it. And it's sad because here's the thing. She's a recovering addict. She's had her kids taken away from her before too. She knows what all this is like. And so to see her trying to harm all of us other recovering addicts, it is so disgusting to me. That harm reduction chick or that therapist with naloxone. You know, thank you guys. And here's the thing, like I said, I don't want anybody to do that hasn't been affected. But if you're being affected by her and she's harassing you and sending you hate and doing all these things to you, calling your job, like you've stepped over the line, you know? And I wouldn't have even reached out to the Board of Ethics if she would have just left me alone. It took me about 9 months of being harassed by her before I finally went and did something about it. Hey, Jackie, did you call me on the 1-800 number? Is that what you called me on, baby? Because I didn't get where did you call me again today? Call me after this, okay? Sorry, you got to understand, okay? Like sometimes I get a lot of calls and I'll get really burned out. And so I'll put my phone on do not disturb for a little bit so I can rest a little bit. But call me after this and we can talk, okay? Don't give up. Absolutely. And so I don't want to continue talking about drama and stuff because I know it just brings up drama and chaos. But I just wanted to jump on here and let people know, like, I know what you're going through. I know how hard it sucks. Like, I never thought that I would be experiencing the level of harassment that I have been experiencing from this woman and from her cohorts of other people that she associates with, you know? I never, ever would have thought that this would happen to me because I tried to be kind. I tried to help everyone, you know? I try to help every person. I try to do the next right thing. You know, I'm just a drug addict. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I am not held to any standard, but she is. She is supposed to be working in the addiction field as a assistant to an alcohol and drug counselor. Okay, so she should be held to a standard. What would you guys think if your therapist or counselor or doctor came on TikTok and was making horrible videos about people? Do you know what she did to Richie Weber? And I know Richie Weber isn't our favorite person in the world. She exposed what medications he's prescribed. She went into a database and looked up his name and found out that he is prescribed a certain medication and then made a video about it to tell all of TikTok and talk shit about him. Do you know how highly illegal that is? Like, just out of spite, just because she's jealous and she doesn't like him, you know? And it's the same thing for me. It's the same thing with Zach. She did it to Zach, that harm reduction guy. She did it to him. She called his job. The kid is literally works in harm reduction. He mails out naloxone to help people, or Narcan, so that way they can help people. Like, why would you call it on him? Like, he's not doing anything wrong, you know? What are you talking about, dude? I'll tell you, Dr. B is Dr. Bonnie Maud. What are you talking about? See, and here's the thing, like, anybody can message me and ask me anything. I'm always forthcoming with all information. I'm always forthcoming with what I do, how I make my money. How I make my money is through social media marketing. A lot of people think that I am some kind of rehab outreach person, and that's not the case. I don't work for a rehab. I don't do that. I answer the phones for a medical office when people are needing their appointments set or rescheduled. That's what I do. And then my main job is social media marketing. And that's what I've been doing here on TikTok lately when I go live is I've been trying to teach you guys about how to monetize your accounts, how to make money on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. So that way, if you're a felon, if you're a drug addict and you need to make money, you can actually do it from social media now with minimal followers. You don't have to have 100,000 followers to be able to get paid. It's so much different than it used to be. And so what I do is I spend my time trying to help people. That way they can make money too. That way they can take care of their family and their kids. A lot of people, I don't know why people are so bent out of shape or jealous because I have a job working with Dr. B. Like, I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. You would think that you would be happy that I have a job and that I'm able to help other people, you know? But it's like a jealousy thing. They see it as, well, she shouldn't have that job. I should. And that's the thing. You are not the end all be all. You are not the police over what people's job titles are. You don't have any say in what I do. Okay? None at all. And so I just wanted to come on here because I know a lot of people have been harassed by her. I'm not the only one. I knew I wasn't the only one. And I want y'all to understand, do you know what it feels like, dude, to have somebody constantly harassing you, constantly calling the law on you, calling government agencies on you? Like, it is so overwhelming. I got so depressed over the winter. Like, I could barely leave my room, dude, because I was so depressed. I was crying all the time because it becomes overwhelming. And what happens is people like that person who just came in and said, oh, she lies. They hear one thing from one person, and instead of coming to me and asking, they just run with the lies that they have been told without doing proper research. For instance, a girl here on TikTok actually reached out to me and was like, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not know that, I really just listened to what my friend said. I listened to what my friend said. She said you were a body broker. She said that you were a danger, so I just listened to her. And now I know that you're not. And I talked to this girl on the phone, and I told her all about my life and how I got sober and what I do now. And she was like, I am so sorry. I wish more people would do that. I wish more people would reach out to me and ask me, hey, Nicole, everybody's saying this about you. What is the truth? Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Life, what's up? Hey, Micah. What is the truth? For me to be a body broker, I would have to be working for a rehab, and they would have to be paying me a lot of money so that way I could headhunt at addicts and pay these addicts a lot of money to go in and out of treatment, relapse, and use their insurance over and over again. They would have to really pay me, right? And I don't work for a rehab, and that's what people don't understand. I'm just a mom who works from home doing social media. I built my platforms when I needed support because I got sober and I was on Suboxone and I felt like I was all alone. I felt like nobody else understood what I was going through and I could not relate to people in Alcoholics Anonymous. So I made a YouTube channel and I built a community of people there. And after I built my YouTube channel, I started spreading my wings and I came over to TikTok. Okay. Hey, what's up, Sarah? I came over to TikTok. I have literally done nothing. I have literally worked my way up from the bottom to the top, okay? And I'm not even at the top yet. I'm like right in the middle. But what I'm trying to say is like I was a junkie. I couldn't get a job. I was unemployable, right? I got sober. I started working little jobs, Nukes as a sandwich shop maker, right? Then I got a job at Hallmark. Then I got my job that I do now, working in social media marketing and answering the phones for Dr. B's medical office, you know? Every single person that reaches out to me, I work so hard to help every single person that reaches out to me. Do you know how much time it takes for me to answer all these people? And now on Facebook, I just hit like 18,000 followers on Facebook, and people are inundating me with messages on my messenger. And so I'm going through my messenger every night. I have 25 to 50 messages from people on Facebook. Some people just saying, hey girl, you inspire me. Other people reaching out for help, and they really need resources. They don't know where to begin. And I don't get paid for that time that I spend on here helping people. I don't make a dime from that, you know? And so that's what makes this so discouraging, because there are people out there who are doing those things, who do need to be called out. But I am not one of those people. If I was a body broker, as many times as Miss Tanya Catrone has called the law on me, has called the Board of Medicine on me, I would be in prison by now. The FBI or the police would be knocking down my door. You see what I'm saying? And so I just saw that a lot of other people are being harassed by her, and I thought I was the only person who was experiencing it, you know? And when you think you're the only person, I can tell you all this, it feels really lonely whenever people in the recovery community are making horrible videos about you, and then you go over and you see all these people who you thought were your friends and that followed you in the comment section agreeing and talking shit about you. It's the worst feeling in the whole wide world, because I've always given every single person on this app a chance. Okay, I will never just not like you for no reason. I give every single person a chance with me. All right. And I give people a lot of chances. You know, if this woman would stop harassing me and stop harassing other people and come to me and apologize, I would forgive her, and we could move forward and forget all about it. Let bygones be bygones, right? Thank you, girl. I appreciate you so much. You guys go follow my friend Sober Abundance. She is my friend from Instagram, and she has an Instagram account that's pretty popular over there. But she just came over to TikTok, and she's learning how to navigate TikTok. It's a lot different than Instagram, but it's really fun. So go give her a follow. She's super cool, and you'll enjoy her content if you like recovery content, you know? And listen to me, guys. I understand, like, with putting yourself out on social media, I do understand that, you know, you're opening yourself up to criticism, right? You're opening yourself up to people saying things about you. I understand that, and I can handle that, okay? I get made fun of because I'm overweight. I get made fun of because my teeth are crooked on the bottom. I get made fun of a lot of things. I can handle the criticism. I can handle people questioning me, right? I can handle that, but what I can't handle is Tanya Catrone constantly trying to hurt and harm me and my family, my son, okay? Trying to get my son removed from my care because you don't like me, because you're jealous and miserable. That's horrible, dude. That's horrible. You don't do that shit to somebody. And this woman has also been in my situation. She has had her children taken away from her by CPS. She knows how awful it is. You know, and this is a woman who is supposed to be in a position of authority. She is supposed to be a counselor or some kind of professional. Okay, imagine the harm that she could cause other people because she just doesn't like them, because she's just not willing to step back and reevaluate things. Like, listen to me, you guys. we aren't all going to get along, okay? Some of you, I might drive you crazy. My personality might go all over you. And I understand that, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to constantly make content about me and harass me. You know, if you don't like somebody, you just disconnect from that person. Block that person so that way they don't have to be seen. You don't have to see them, you know? It doesn't give her the right to harass me, you know? And like I could understand like making one video, you know, like in 2021 and then that's it, but she has continued and continued and continued and continued, and she has me blocked. But what she does is she comes on my account from other accounts and she'll take my videos and she'll twist them out of context. Let me give you another example. Probably about 2 or 3 months ago, we were live, all of us having a great time, and a little girl came into my live stream. She probably couldn't have been no more than like 14 or 15 years old. And she said, "What do I do? My mom is addicted to meth and she's strung out. I don't want to get taken away by CPS. I need help." So I said, "Oh, I'll help you. I'll help you. We can reach out to some foster families in Texas and see if they'll take you and your brothers and sisters," because she didn't want to be separated from her brothers and sisters. So I thought the right thing to do would to reach out to the foster people in Texas, right? No big deal. Everybody gets helped. You know what I'm saying? And I even went as far as to join the Texas foster care community on Facebook so that way I could connect with other people in the foster community that were in Texas. Next thing I know, wake up the next morning and she has made a video about me, calling me a human trafficker, saying that I am dangerous and this has got to stop. Are you kidding me? Well, then I go to check on the little girl and she's blocked me. I truly believe that that little girl was one of them faking to see what I would do. And take whatever I did out of context like she did. Like she did, you know? So now what I've had to do on here on social media, and I hate it, is I've had to tell people, like, if you're not 18, like, I cannot talk to you. You know what I mean? I can talk to you here while you're on live, right? And you know, all that, but I cannot be like talking to you on the phone or like any of that, because there are people who are literally trying to trying to set me up as if I'm some kind of predator, you know, and I have a kid of my own. And so it's people like her that ruin it for everyone else. So if she took the energy that she spent harassing me and all the other people that she's harassing, she could be really successful in her life. But instead, she's so hyper focused on like harassing other people, you know? And the same goes for any person who continues to harass somebody for over a year, okay? You know, and I think what made her even worse is that, hey, Nate, was that what made it even worse is when she found the other lady that harasses me on Facebook, Carol, and they have joined forces. And when I tell you this woman, she will never stop. Carol is literally obsessed. She will take every video that I post and turn it around to something bad. Anything that I post. I think I posted a video the other day about, it was about Imodium AD and how people are using it to get high off of, right? Because when you overtake it, I guess it makes you feel like opiates do. And so I was sharing about that. Not because I'm like, hey guys, let's go get high on Imodium AD. No, I'm sharing that with parents, with loved ones, so that way they can know how to help their loved one, how to help their child if they're taking copious amounts of Imodium AD, right? That's all, right? That's all I'm trying to do is help make people aware. I would never try to harm somebody, ever. But this woman, Aunt Carol and Tanya, they take everything that I post and they turn it into something that it's not. They make it something bad Okay, everything, everything. Okay, this Carol woman, you guys can go to her Facebook page. Okay, Carol Terwilliger. You could go to her Facebook page and see it. It's nothing but posts about me. Very seldomly does she post about another person. It is all me. She talks about my weight. She talks about my teeth. They talk about they called the state police on me, trying to get me fucking sentenced to 10 years in prison. Okay, because my husband has a concealed handgun license. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have access to any of the firearms. They are literally locked in a safe. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it's so crazy to me. Like, why would you want that? Why would you want that to happen? Why would you want me to go to prison for 10 years away from my son? Why would you want that to happen to me? Like, that's evil ass shit. That's psychotic. Okay? Psychotic. And I think what also has happened is that they want me to leave social media. They thought that they could harass me enough that I would tuck my tail and leave. Bitch, I didn't spend all this time building all these accounts to just fucking tuck my tail and run. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. You got me fucked up. I ain't going nowhere. You know? I ain't going nowhere. Stephanie, what'd you think? What'd you think when you saw it? And you tell me, Stephanie, if you saw it, tell me, is there any shred of truth to what she's posting? Is there any shred of like, hey, maybe she is right? Oh, and that's the thing. You know what? If one of them reached out to me and called me and said, hey, Nicole, in fact, I'll tell you this. Carol called my work phone. She hung up in my face. She doesn't know that I have the ability to see who called me through call tracking metrics. So I went into my phone, I looked up who called me, and bam, it was Carol T. So I called her back. I said, hey, Carol, you know that I can see that it's you calling and hanging up in my face. Oh, I've never done it before. I went through, she had done it like 3 or 4 other times. So I was like, what is your problem? Do you think I'm a body broker? And she said, no, I don't think you are. I know you're not. And I said, well, what is your problem? I want you off social media. Why? Because you're a danger to the recovery community. And I don't even think that you know it. You don't even realize that you're a danger. And I'm like, you could literally be on some of these people's pages who are promoting drug use, who are getting high on their pages, who are fucking men that are trying to attract young women, all kinds of stuff you could be doing. And you're coming after me because I'm such a danger. You know, I'm such a danger. How am I such a danger? Because I share about the way drugs made me feel. You know, I share about that stuff, you guys, because my audience can relate. Okay. So for many years, when I first started creating content online, the only thing I talked about was recovery. I would only do 12-step recovery meetings, and I was like super duper gung-ho about you got to be in 12 steps. It's really important and everything. I wouldn't talk about drugs because I felt like I didn't want to be glorifying drugs, all that. I was afraid. Then I came to TikTok and I saw all these people doing funny trends, all these people that are drug addicts in recovery making content about how they used to shoot dope. And I was like, oh my God, it's okay. Like, we do that over here, right? And so I started doing it too. Oh my God. You would think that I was fucking killing somebody because I make content about what I did when I was high. She says she's for recovery, talking about people like she does. I told her that's not recovery, so she blocked me. Yeah. And anybody that doesn't bend to her narrative or believe her narrative, she will block you. Same with Tanya. She will block you. This has gotten so out of control. It's so sickening to me that these are other women who continue to harass me. And the problem with it, you guys, is that the laws on cyberbullying and cyber stalking are not, it's like very, you know, because I'm in a different state, they're in a different state. If I had money, I could sue them for defamation and I would totally, absolutely win. Okay? Absolutely win. But I don't have a lot of money to just be throwing at somebody to, you know, to a lawyer to sue somebody for defamation of character. You know, it just hurts to constantly be made fun of, constantly be talked about in such a negative way when all I'm trying to do is help people. You know, like if I told you that it didn't bother me, I would be lying. I would be lying. You know, I couldn't believe it when I saw all these people commenting and saying things about me. I don't even know these people. I've never met them. I've never talked to them ever in my whole entire life. But because I talk about drugs, I tell drug story times, because I do that, they think I'm a horrible person. It's like, what? What? If you don't like my content, that's okay. I totally understand. I totally understand. What are you talking about? Pat's, what are you talking about, babe? Who's judging? If anything, I'm being fucking set on the fucking judgment table because they are constantly berating me and harassing me and making content about me and posting about me and making fun of me. Okay? It's constantly doing harm to me, doing harm to my mental health. Like, I honestly had to sit back and think, are they trying to get me to take my own life? Are they trying to get me to kill myself? Because it just hasn't stopped. And it hasn't stopped. You know, if I thought it would stop, I would be so happy. And like I said, I try really hard not to talk about it, not to address it anymore, to just ignore it. I try so hard. But when I saw that some of you guys are being harassed also, I had to come on and say something. I had to come on and say something because it's happening to me too. And if this woman is doing it to you, we should all band together. You know what I mean? We need to band together and report it. We have to report it because this will keep on happening to other people until there's some kind of, you know, until she has some kind of person to answer to for what she's doing, you know? I have been sober for 7 months now from drugs. Do you still struggle with having no energy? Absolutely, Jason. It's an everyday struggle for me. And I try my hardest to, like, you know, stay positive and not focus on it, but it's an everyday struggle. You know, for the longest time, Tanya was like gathering other people, you know? She was gathering other people, and it was like 4 or 5 girls making videos about me every single day, you know? And thankfully they have stopped, you know, they have let up on me and they're leaving me alone now. But, you know, it's never ever been for something valid, you know? It's always just been, I'm talking about that therapist, Tanya, who's been stalking me for about a year. And she brought in like Kimmy and other people to do it too. And that's what they were doing. What she'll do is she'll make a video and then she'll grab people who comment on it and they'll all get together in a little group and talk shit about me all day long. Talk shit about how I'm a horrible person, about how all I care about is making money and that I'm not really in recovery, that I don't deserve to have my job, just all kinds of outlandish judgment, right? And it's like, damn, man, I'm not doing shit. Like, I honestly, you guys, I worked so hard, okay? I worked so hard. I was recently advised that someone was running. Who, Andrea? I've worked so hard, you guys, to build my following up from when I first started, okay? Oh, see, Kimmy's posting about me too. See, she's back at it again. I didn't know she was posting about me, girl. I just really ignore her, you know? But she's another person, and what they post is just outlandish shit, just lies, dude, lies, you know? Do you think that if I was doing some wrong shit that I'd be here just talking about stuff and being all online if I was doing illegal things? You know, no, I wouldn't just be, I would be doing my illegal shit and not fucking being online. You know, I started my channel in 2017 over on YouTube, and I worked so hard to build that community. You know, I worked so hard. I think what a lot of people don't understand is that I'm not a medical professional, okay? And I don't understand why people think that I am, okay? I've never claimed to be a therapist or a counselor or a doctor or any of those things. And people try to hold me to a standard that I'm some kind of professional. I am just a woman sharing her struggles, sharing her journey. Okay, that's all. I'm not a guru. I'm not trying to fucking, I'm just sharing what has worked for me and how I stay sober every day. And while I do that, I try to help people who are addicted to find resources that work for them. I help family members find resources for their kids. I call their kids. I have moms that reach out to me and they're like, my daughter hasn't called me in 2 months. I'm so worried about her. And I say, give me your phone number. I'll call her. Maybe I can get through to her. Maybe because I've been there and I'm a drug addict, she'll be able to relate to me. And these people, I have never met them in my life. I will never see them ever again. But it's worth a try. It's worth me giving it a chance to try and help somebody. I enjoy being of service to other people. I enjoy helping people. For a long time, I had a life with no purpose. Okay? I was just going through the motions of life and I was trying to find my purpose, trying to find what works for me. And when I shared my story for the first time in treatment, after I graduated treatment, and everybody in the room was crying, we were all emotional, that day I knew 100% that I wanted to share my story to help inspire other people, to change people's lives. I knew that I wanted to do public speaking and that I wanted to be able to connect with people, and I didn't know how to do that. So I started a YouTube channel. Okay? Every single thing is on social media now. You cannot get away from social media is the new TV. Social media is the new commercials, And so I try to help other people who are just getting started, build their social media also. And I would be willing to help anybody that needs help, If you guys, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give everybody in here a chance to ask me anything they want to ask me. If you have a question, if you have heard a rumor and you ask me the question, put the question in the comments and I will answer it I will answer you 100% authentic, truthfully. I have nothing to hide. Absolutely nothing. And that is why I'm so transparent and I share so much about my addiction and what I went through, because I've already been to prison. I've already had my son taken away from me. I already fought and got him back from CPS. I've already been through all that bad stuff and I'm on the other end of it. I'm not doing the bad stuff no more. If I was, I certainly wouldn't be talking about it because I would be worrying about getting caught again, And so I'm on the other side of it, and that's why I share with you guys so much of my life, and I try to help people. It's just really discouraging, you guys. It's really discouraging when all I'm trying to do is help people and be of service. If you don't like the way I help people, that's okay. If you can do it better, then start your own channel. Start your own recovery help. Do you know what I'm saying? If you see somebody and you're like, well, they're not doing it right? Then you should go make your own. You should do it then. It takes a lot of work. YouTube too. Okay? It's not easy to make content every single day. It's not easy. Okay? Every single day when I wake up, I write down content ideas that I want to make. And I try to get inspired, right? Because I want to come on here and I want to inspire you. I want to bring to you videos that pique your interest, that you say, hey, I want to watch that video. I want to hear what Nicole has to say. That's why we're starting a new series about crimes that have been committed by people while they were high on methamphetamine. Okay? I just dropped another video about a woman who was a home healthcare nurse. Okay? This happened in June of 2022. She was a home healthcare nurse working at night to take care of a little girl who is medically compromised. The little girl had feeding tubes, a breathing tube, everything. Very important that all those things are taken care of. Well, she was a night nurse. Well, Parents woke up, came to check on their daughter and the night nurse, and guess what? The little girl's breathing tube was not in her mouth, not attached. It was all wrapped up in her hair, and she was dead, not breathing. So her parents immediately started trying to resuscitate her. Okay? While they're trying to resuscitate her and on the phone with 911, this woman is on the floor, passed out, mumbling shit that don't make any sense. High as hell off methamphetamine. Okay? And so, can you imagine that? Can you imagine being, coming and finding your daughter basically dying because you thought the nurse was doing their job? You know, and I have another case that I'm going to share with you guys. Okay? I have another case of a woman. She was abusing methamphetamine, and for like 2 or 3 weeks before the incident happened, she was telling her loved ones, you know, like, I'm really depressed. I really want to get out of the house. I just need some space. She was struggling with her mental health. She had 3 toddlers under the age of like 5. Okay. Oh, hold on. That's a lot of work when you got kids that young, and 3 of them, right? So she has all these babies, and her boyfriend, her husband, and his mom, they come home, and she tells them, I'm gonna go put the babies to sleep. And they're like, okay. Oh, well, right before they got there, what she had done was she had grabbed her son and she had suffocated him, put her hand in her mouth, hand over their nose in their mouth, and suffocated him to death. And he was dead, laying on the couch. So when they got home, she took him in the bedroom and laid him down and tucked him in. Came back out and said, hey, I'm going to take the other 2 and go put them down for their nap. She takes the other 2 back, does the same thing, suffocates them, and then brings them out one by one, lays them on the floor in the living room, and says they're sleeping. Well, I guess the dad and the grandma were like, okay, you know, I guess they're going to be in the living room with us. So like an hour or 2 passed. And then the dad and the grandma went up to see if the babies were, you know, why haven't they woke up yet? It's been like 2 or 3 hours. And they were dead. They realized that they had been suffocated. And so they called 911. And they came over, tried to resuscitate the babies. All 3 of them died, right? And they take the girl into custody. Well, they do an interview with the girl, and she's behind bars, and she's on the phone with her husband's mom. And her husband's mom's like, why would you do this? Like, what happened? Why didn't you come to us? Why didn't you let us know you were struggling? Right? And she's like, I did. I told you guys that I was so tired and I wanted to get out of the house. And then you hear the grandmother say, no, you said you wanted to go out with Francisco. I don't know who that is. I guess she was talking to some other guy and wanted to go hang out with him for the weekend. And the grandmother's like, you know, you have children. You're a mother, you know. Why didn't you just call me and ask me to come over to help? Nope, she didn't do that. Instead, she decided to suffocate her 3 young children. And she had been abusing methamphetamine. So it's like, I understand having psychosis, you guys, and being like, hallucinating and stuff, because I've been there. I have had hallucinations that are so real that I called the police, you know what I'm saying, scared out of my mind. But I cannot see suffocating my child. I cannot see playing with somebody's dead body and dismembering it. What'd y'all think about that true crime story I posted today? Wasn't that wild? That girl Taylor, I'll show y'all right now. That girl Taylor was like, when I listened to Christina Randall's, where I saw it being played, when I watched Christina Randall tell the story about this Taylor Shabusiness girl, that's her name, can you believe that? I literally could not believe it when she was telling it. It was bad. It was bad. And what happened was, after she dismembered her boyfriend's body, right, her lover's body, she takes a foot and a leg and throws it in a crock pot box she had in the back of her van, and she speeds off, right? For those of you guys that didn't watch it, her and her boyfriend were shooting meth, okay? They were in the basement of his mother's home. They shot some meth, then they shot up trazodone, and they decided to get kinky, right? You know how it is when you're high on meth. Well, they always choked each other during sex, which some people do that, right? You have a safe word, you tap on their hands and they stop, right? Well, her boyfriend, whose name was Shad, he got a dog collar. It was one of those metal ones that when you pull it, it tightens, and he put it on his neck. And they were having sex, and she was pulling it. And she said, I pulled it, and it felt so good, I pulled it again. And then I pulled it some more, but I couldn't stop myself. And so she pulled it until he died. He died. She strangled him to death. So she strangles him to death, rolls him over on his back because she was on his back, strangling him from the back like that. She rolls him over on his back, and she proceeds to play with his dead body, putting his in her and her and all kinds of things, just for hours, just playing with it, right? Then she decides to go upstairs and get a serrated bread knife and a regular knife, steak knife, and come downstairs and cut his body up into pieces. Pieces of his body were everywhere. His organs were outside of his body in another area of the basement. There was pieces of his body outside of the house, everywhere. The mother comes downstairs because she sees that Taylor left. She's kind of skid off and left. So the mother comes downstairs to check on her son. She goes down there and she sees a bucket at the end of the stairway, and she goes, I need to see what's inside this bucket. So she grabs the towel off of the bucket, and it is her son's decapitated head and his penis in this bucket. And so she immediately calls 911, and she's like, now she's realizing, she steps down into the basement. She sees blood everywhere, dismembered legs, bodies, everything is everywhere, right? She calls the 911, the police show up, and she tells them the last person that was here was Taylor Schabusiness. That's her name. She changed, don't even ask me about the Schabusiness, but that's really her name. So the cops are like, okay, we got to go find this Schabusiness bitch. And so they drive straight over to her apartment, and she's in her apartment. So they knock on the door, and she comes out, and she is covered in blood. All over her sweatshirt, all over her sweatpants, bloody mess. Okay? And they are like, what happened? What's going on? Like, we found this Shad dismembered, right? And she goes, damn, that's fucked up. And they were like, what happened? And she continues to tell them what happened, that they were having kinky sex. She was strangling him like they always did, and she took it a little too far. And she liked it and couldn't stop. And then after that, she said, I've already went this far, might as well take care of the rest, and decided to dismember his body and play with his body parts and his body while he was laying there dead. Then, to put the icing on the cake, she says to the investigators, you're going to have fun finding all his body parts. Let me show y'all what she looks like. So this is the girl. That's Shad. That's her too. That's her. Now that she's in jail. This poor man, like, can you imagine that, you guys? Can you imagine? Like, oh God. And this is what I want to talk about. So I have totally been high on meth and doing the do, right? Totally. And I did some wild stuff while I was on meth doing the do, right? You know, sticking stuff where they don't belong, all kinds of wild stuff, right? But I could never, ever strangle somebody to the point where they were unalived and then play with their dead body. Like, I understand, like when you get high on methamphetamine, a lot of time you'll go into like psychosis. But I truly believe, like, she knew what she was doing. She was aware of it. She told the police when they came to her house. She admitted to them everything that she did. She told them. She was aware, self-aware. When you're in a psychosis or hallucination like that, like when you're usually like that, like you don't know what you're doing. Like you can't control yourself, right? And I don't know how to explain it, but I just don't believe that it was because she was high on meth. I believe that, she probably was strangling him and, like I said, took it too far. He ended up, dying. And then she was like kind of fucked, you know what I mean? And probably got scared and continued to please herself with his dead body. That's another thing that makes me kind of like, you know what I mean? Because she was literally pleasing herself with his dead body. You know what I mean? So she's she's pleading insanity. Okay, because I guess because she wants to go to trial, or whatever. She's saying that she's insane. What do you guys think? Do you guys think she's insane? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? I don't know. They're doing a competency hearing, and I'm fixing to go watch those hearings to see if they find her competent or not. But damn, man, like that's some crazy ass motherfucking shit right there. Okay, like I said, I've done some crazy things in my active addiction, but whoa, you know, yeah, because I mean, I just feel like I do know. Listen to me, like I understand. Like, let me think. When I was high on meth, you guys, like I did some questionable shit, but it would have to be an accident. Like maybe what happened was, like I said, maybe she was strangling him and she killed him, and it wasn't. Maybe she didn't realize that. I don't know, but that's the thing. She said while I was pulling the chain, I liked it. I liked seeing him struggling for air, so I pulled it some more. And so she's like, she vividly described this to the police, talking about how she enjoyed strangling the life out of him. Hey, thanks, Blonde. Thank you. And I'm sorry, y'all. The title says harassment, and whatever, but we were talking about this lady who's been harassing me for like a year here on TikTok. That's how we started out the live. And I was coming on here to let people know, like, I see other people are coming forward because she's doing the same thing to them. Like, we're not always going to like each other, but there's no reason why us grown ass women should be like harassing each other. There's no reason why that. If you are a woman in recovery and you're sober, there's no reason why you should be constantly making videos about another woman. Absolutely not. Especially talking shit about that woman. There's no excuse. Like, that is not what recovery is about. That's not part of staying sober, right? That's actually part of active addiction. Acting out like that is part of active addiction. It is a old behavior, okay? I understand that, like, we're going to make mistakes, right? Let's say maybe one day, you saw somebody making a video and you didn't like what they were saying and you commented back and you said something hateful to them, right? And then the next day you're like, I shouldn't have said that. Like, I know I shouldn't have said that. And that person takes your comment and responds to it with a video. And then a whole bunch of other people start coming over to you and like harassing you and saying mean things to you because you left this one comment, right? What I would do in that situation is I would apologize and I would take my comment down and say, I shouldn't have said that. I was wrong. And that's where the growth is. But a lot of these women, they're not working any kind of program of recovery. So there's never any growth. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. Okay. People call me out when I post videos. Maybe it's not completely correct or whatever. If I misspoke or something, I will take the video down and remake it. All you have to do is let me know. But there's no reason to like zero in on one human being and just try to make their life a living hell. And that is what has happened to me from this lady Tanya here on TikTok. And there's other people making videos about me too, but I don't care. Like Kimmy, I don't even know why she's making videos about me. Who knows? I know that she's upset because Jodeci, from Matt Lives Matter. I don't know if y'all remember Jodeci. Jodeci from Matt Lives Matter, she reached out to me and she apologized. She apologized for making mean videos about me. She apologized for talking badly about me. And so when she came to me and she apologized, I said, it's all in the past. We can resume our friendship if you want to be friends still. I have no problem with you. I forgive you. I forgive you. And we have been on the up and up. Everything's all good. We talk on the phone sometimes. She just mailed me and my son a little bracelet that she made and a necklace. Like, we're all good. Well, Kimmy found out that she apologized to me, and I don't know why Kimmy cares, but now Kimmy's upset about it, that she apologized to me. Oh, why are you talking to Real Talk Recovery? Bah, 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 bah. It's like, yeah, Kelsey. Jodeci came to her senses and she reached out to me and she apologized. And all of that drama was over nothing. Nothing. All of that drama was nothing. The reason why me and Jodeci kind of stopped being friends was because back in 2020, her and a couple people were kind of jumping on that Ashley Reiner shit, like the Ashy Cat shit. And I kind of just distanced myself from her. You know what I mean? I wasn't mad at her or anything. And she called me and she's like, are you mad at me? And are you not wanting to be my friend? I was like, no, I just don't want to make videos about Ashley. And all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. And she exposed my text messages, started making fun of me for my husband's relapse in 2020, like just doing all kinds of vindictive, mean, horrible shit. And I forgave her. Can you believe that? Like, I forgave her. But when her doing that, then these other girls started doing it. You know, it's like every time somebody tries to do something like that to me, they try to use things that I have shared openly against me. You know, when I talked about my husband's relapse in 2020, the reason why I talked about it was because I wanted to help other people who are going through the same thing. I wanted to help other wives and other girlfriends who have had their significant other fall back and let them know, hey, guess what? Just because he fell back doesn't mean I have to fall back. It does not mean that I have to pick up. I don't have to get high no matter what. And to take my husband's struggles and make fun of us is horrible. Horrible. And that's what Kimmy did. She made videos saying that I was enabling my husband and that he smokes crack and all kinds, making fun of me, making fun of the situation. I couldn't believe it, dude. I was like, am I seeing what I think I see? That's what I'm telling you something, okay? Just because people say that they're in recovery don't mean that they're in recovery, okay? Like, it takes a lot of work to change your behaviors, okay? It takes a lot of work to learn how to take these horrible things that people say to you and not react to it, not make horrible videos back, I don't do any of that. When somebody says something about me, I might come on here and talk about it, but I'm not going to make videos bashing them. I come on here and I make videos about my life and about drugs. And if somebody has hurt me and I do make a video, it'll be me making a video showing the facts, showing the proof of what has happened. Because I think a lot of people don't understand. Just because I am like an outspoken person, you know, and I, you know, talk a lot and I'm, you know, on live and shit like that, it doesn't mean that I'm out here like cussing people out. Like, there's no reason why any of the things that are said to me or the things that people do making videos about me, there's no reason for it. There's no reason. It is simply because they're jealous. That's all. Yeah, super duper low blow. And like I said, the only thing, why else would you sit there and make video after video after video about one woman? Why else? Why else? Because you don't like them and you're jealous of them. That's the only reason. Like, it's so unhealthy to sit there and focus on one person and hate one person for what reasons? Just because you do. Just because you do. And a lot of it is these girls, they hear, like I said, Tanya saying I'm a body broker and that I'm all about money. Let's take that into consideration. So what these girls will do is say, oh, she's a body broker. She's all about money. She's trying to get everybody hooked on Suboxone. That's what they'll say, okay? They hear this rumor, they come on and they talk about it. They spread it around like wildfire. And then what happens is a lot of you guys go to their videos, you watch them, you might not know me. And you listen to them and you believe it. And instead of coming to me and saying, hey girl, these people are saying that you're a body broker. Like, what's up with that? People believe it and they jump on the bandwagon. And that's what has happened to me. You know, I'm not a body broker. I don't work for a treatment center placing people in treatment. I don't have any referral relationships, nothing like that. I work for a social media marketing company, building people's social media accounts. I manage like 4 or 5 different people's social media accounts here on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, everywhere. And that is my job. Okay. My job with Dr. B is I manage his social media. I was doing such a good job at that, and he knows that I enjoy helping people, that he gave me another job, which is to answer the phones for his doctor's office. And that's what I do, answer the phones. Like, literally, that's what I do. I'll answer the phone. Somebody calls, they say, hey, Nicole, I want to get put on Suboxone. I would like to do the Suboxone program, right? I'm fixing to show y'all. They'll say, hey, Nicole, I heard you guys had a Suboxone program. I seen it online. I heard Dr. B talking about it, whatever, right? I would like to join. How much is it? And what kind of insurance do you guys take? My job. I'll say, okay, that's okay. Awesome. I'm so happy that you want to come, get on Suboxone, get your life back. That's what's up. We take Medi-Cal Monarch, and we also take Medi-Cal Cal Optima through Orange County. If you have those insurances, you don't have to pay anything. Okay? If you don't have that insurance, then the first appointment is $350, but then it goes down to $145 an appointment. So that first initial visit is where we have to do all the paperwork and all the physical and all that kind of stuff. Most of the time, if people can't afford to pay for their first appointment, then I will go out of my way to ask if I can pass them through on our grant, because we have grant money for people that want to get on MAT. And so I will help them so they don't have to pay that amount. And then all they have to worry about keeping up with is their $145 for their each appointment that they have. Okay. So after I set them up with that, after I tell them about that, I will send them a link to our website where they can go and fill out the new patient forms. They'll fill out their new patient forms, and I will get a notification that comes to my phone or my computer. I go and I grab their new patient forms and I enter them into our computer. I enter them into ECW, which is where we have all of our patients listed. It's where we send our prescriptions out from. It's where everything is at. That is like if you're going to your doctor's office, that's why they check you in. That's what I do. So I get them entered in, and then I call them and I say, okay, honey, I got you entered into the computer. Are you ready to schedule an appointment? And they say yes. I say, okay, do you want to come like really, really fast, like as soon as you can, or do you want me to schedule it out? And, they'll say, I want to come as soon as I can. So I will get on that ECW. I will go to our patient scheduling, and I will look and find an open block for them so that way I can schedule them. Usually the new patients take over an hour because we have to do all the paperwork and stuff. So I make sure that I block out 2 spots for them, and I put them on the schedule. I give them the address to the clinic. I let them know if they get lost or they need anything, they can call me, and no matter what, anytime, anywhere. I give them my cell phone number. I tell them they can text me too. So then they go in for their appointment. They meet Dr. B, they meet Alexis, and then they get on their Suboxone. Alexis will call their medication in, and they'll be in withdrawal. If they are in withdrawal and if they want to go home and take their medication, they don't want to hang out at the office, what will happen is Alexis will say, you can call Nicole tonight. She will help you. You will be sick. That is okay, right? And I will just sit there and cheer them on and let them know, hey, it's okay. You're doing a great job. Keep on pushing. Don't give up. Don't give up, right? Then when they're sick enough, Alexis will do the clinical opiate withdrawal scale on them. And if they high over a 13 or over, then she says, okay, they can take their medication. She tells them they can take their medication, and then they do it. And then I, again, stay with them. How are you feeling? Do you need anything? Like, do you want me to call Alexis back? Are you having any kind of reaction? Anything like that. And if they're having any problems or anything like that, I am their direct line of communication to the doctor, because they can't just call the doctor on their cell phone. You know what I mean? So that is what I do. I am there as a direct line of communication for the doctor on the nights and the weekends, for emergency situations, for whatever. Okay. Now, then they get on their subs and they're balancing out and they're doing good. And let's say they're like, yeah, I'm doing really good, but like, I need some resources. I need to do counseling. I want to do this or that. I get them into counseling. I get them connected with our therapist, and I get them signed up for that and all that good stuff. All of it. I do that. Okay. If they're like, oh, I don't really need counseling, but I need to find some like MAT friendly groups. Where can I go? I got you. And I send them links to Mara. I send them links to our TikTok over here, to YouTube. Any people that I know that are like really big in the recovery community, that are MAT friendly community people, I send them those resources. I send them AA and NA links, everything. So that way they have resources. A lot of the patients end up being here with us and following me and doing all the stuff that we do here on TikTok and doing live streams with us. And, I get to know them and we become like friends, So it's just, that's what I do. I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding and they think that I am paid to put people on Suboxone, or I'm paid to get them into the clinic. Not at all. Not at all. Dr. B has a really great marketing company. I work for that marketing company. And what we have done is we have built his social media to the point where, like I told you guys, social media is like a commercial. That's how you get your name out there. That's how people know about, hey, that's a MAT program. It's like watching a commercial on TV. And so because we have built his accounts and everything, that is how people know that he has a MAT clinic. They also have a commercial on TV in California about his MAT clinic and on YouTube. And so that is just a business. That's what all businesses do. Okay. That's the same thing as you see treatment centers that have TikTok accounts and YouTube videos. It's the same concept. And we have just helped him build up his, company and his marketing, so that way people are already reaching out and already calling. So all I have to do is answer the phones for them when they call. That's it. There was this huge drama that Tanya and Carol were trying to make up, saying that I'm doing stuff that's illegal, right? Because I called the pharmacy for our patients. So sometimes what will happen on the nights or the weekends, a patient will go to pick up their Suboxone and they'll get there and the pharmacy is just giving them a hard time. They're saying things. No, I don't only promote MAT. I promote whatever works for you, baby. I support all pathways. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So there was, on the weekend, I'll give you guys an example. So my friend Diana, she's come on here and told her story so I can tell you guys. My friend Diana is a patient, or she was a patient of Dr. B. She's not anymore. And she was going to the pharmacy to get her medication, and she was in withdrawal. Like, she was in withdrawal because she was going to induct onto Suboxone. So she was coming off of fentanyl. She gets to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist is hella rude to her and says, your prescription's not here. Nobody called it in. She calls me. I'm the person that they can get a hold of after hours, right? So she calls me and she's crying and she's like, my prescription's not here. I don't know what to do. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go get fentanyl. Da, 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 da. I'm like, no. You're not going to go get fentanyl. You're going to stay with me. And so I get off the phone with her and I call the pharmacy. I call the pharmacy and I say, hey, this is Nicole. Our patient is there trying to pick up her Suboxone, which is a life-saving medication, and she's being told it's not there. They ask me, I need name and date of birth. I give them name and date of birth because I have that, all of that. And then they say, oh, we accidentally put in the wrong birth date. It's right here. I call Diana back and I say, it's okay, girl. They put the wrong birthday in. You're going to get it. this is how bad they treated her. They called security on her to get her away from because she was sobbing. She's in withdrawal and she's crying. They were just so rude to her. And so I advocate for those people. So that way if they're going in the pharmacy and they are having a hard time, I will advocate for them. I will call up there and advocate. There's nothing illegal about that. Any person who works in a medical office that has access to the ECW can do that, as long as they know the patient's name, date of birth. I know all of it, address, everything. Okay, and so you could do that. Let's say one of you let's say I was at the pharmacy and they wouldn't give me my medicine, and so I called one of you guys and I'm saying, can you please call them? They're giving me a hard time. One of you could do that, as long as you have my name and date of birth. And so it's not, they tried to say that it's illegal and called the Board of Medicine on me. Like, what? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Do you not understand, like, that there's nothing illegal about that? Yeah, Kelsey, that's exactly, and it's because, like, I am on Suboxone, so I totally understand what it feels like to go there and to feel like everybody's judging you or looking down on you, and so I try to help, Oh, I'm glad you love the support. And so I support all pathways to recovery. I encourage all pathways, okay? Whatever works for you, I am all here for that, So, if somebody calls me and they reach out for help, I don't say, oh, you just need to get on Suboxone. I tell them, like, what do you want to do? How do you want to get sober? Do you want to do inpatient? Do you want to do outpatient? Do you want to go to therapy? Do you want to do it online? Do you want to do MAT? Like, I give them their options and then they choose. And I just help them find the resource. That's literally what I do. So, I'm telling you all this stuff that these people have been doing to me to help you to understand, like, these are the things that they go online and lie about, right? And tell these tall tales of all these illegal things that I'm doing, right? And then what ends up happening is other people watch that content, but they don't ask questions. They just simply believe the person on the other end of the camera. Oh, thanks, Julie. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for saying that. They believe what the person on the other side of the camera believes, instead of coming to me and asking me. Like, I promise you guys, you could ask me anything. I am absolutely, totally, 100% transparent about everything that I do in my life. I've worked so hard to get to this point in my life. I've been sober for 7 years. I've gotten down to a little itty bitty sliver of Suboxone, and I'm thriving. And all I want to do is help other people thrive too. That's all I want to do. I don't want to hurt anyone, and I don't want to harm anybody. I am the nicest person you will ever meet. I will give you the shirt off my back. Okay? I'll give you some other examples. So, of things that I do that people don't even realize. And I don't talk about it because I'm not trying to, like, put it out there online to get a pat on the back, but I'm just trying to explain y'all something. I have people that will call me and message me, and they'll be in dire straits. I can't get my medicine. I'm out of my Suboxone. I don't have enough money to pay for it. I'm $20 short. I'm $60 short. As long as they send me the receipt to prove to me that they bought their Suboxone, I will send them the money. Now, I can't do that for every single person, but I try. I try to use my discernment. I try to help people that I know are really doing a good job and they're really working their recovery. Like, I try really hard to make sure that I use discernment, But even then, sometimes, people will get it and they'll take advantage, and that's okay. That's okay. I have one girl who requests $20 from me on Venmo every day. And I just ignore it, Thank you so much, Tiffany. And here's the thing, like, I'm not trying to come on here and, like, get y'all to give me compliments or anything like that. I'm really just trying to share with you guys, like, what I have been going through for the last year. at the hands of Tanya Catrone and these other women who have been harassing me. You know, it's gotten so out of control that calling CPS, calling the Board of Medicine, emailing my job, mailing cease and desist letters to my job, okay? Like, it's out of control. And all of it is lies. All of it is lies. You know, I sit on here and I try so hard to help people every single day. I don't take money from people. I'm not selfish. Like, I'm not trying to take advantage of people. You know, like, I work really, really, really hard, you know? Oh, James, when I tell you, it is so bad. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like, just, if y'all could just look at this woman's page on Facebook, Carol Terwilliger, you will see what I'm talking about. It is nonstop posts about me, my weight, my teeth, how I'm a danger, how I'm this, how I'm that. And Tanya's right there with her, commenting on all these videos, saying all these things about me. And now Tanya is harassing other people in the community. And the only reason why I'm even talking about it on a live stream, because like I said, I don't want my live streams about drama. I like to do about recovery. For those of you guys that don't know, we are working through the Russell Brand book. It's called Freedom, Recovery from Our Addictions. And we're working through it. We did step 1 on Tuesday, and we're going to do step 2 today. At 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I'm just coming on here and sharing it with people because this woman is doing this to other people too. She has called other people's jobs. Like, here's the thing, you guys. Just because you have a disagreement with somebody or you don't like somebody doesn't warrant you calling their job and trying to get them fired from their job. You know, like calling CPS on me, calling the authorities on me. Like, that is crazy. That is overkill. That is crossing the line. And so she's doing it to other people now, you know. Thanks, Tiffany. You have helped me to not have fear, shame, and guilt, walk through trauma in my past. I'm so happy that I've been able to help. What is your name, user 3841038731114? I can't see your name. It just says the username. You should see if you can change your screen name. When you go on your profile, you go to edit profile and it'll say like your name and you can change it to Cindy. Oh, hey Cindy. Okay, is it Cindy that I helped your daughter? And so I just wanted to come on here because I wanted people to know that, like, if you are a victim and she is doing this to you too, that I do have a contact at the Board of Ethics in Ohio. I don't know how much it will help, but at least we can do something and report it. You know what I mean? Because she is a counselor or a therapist or whatever she is held to a different standard. And there is rules and regulations in place for people like her who are supposed to be in positions that are professional like that. You know, and a lot of people ask me all the time, they say, why don't you become a counselor? Why don't you go back to college? You know why? Because of ethics. Because I don't want to be held to that standard and be liable, right? Right now, I'm just sharing my experience. I'm an addict just like you. We're on the same level. It's easy peasy. I don't have to worry about anything. When you begin to become a peer or a counselor or a therapist or whatever, then you have to operate in a different way. You can't do all the stuff that I do, right? For instance, like, let's say one of you guys went to a treatment center I worked at, right? And I know you from social media. I can't be your counselor. I can't talk to you for 2 years after you graduate the program because we're not supposed to interact with each other because that's against ethics, right? And so there's other things, like I wouldn't be able to give people money when they're struggling. I wouldn't be able to lend them, their $20 for their Suboxone prescription because of ethics. You can't do those things. There's like rules in place where you cannot, it's like, there's boundaries, right? And I wouldn't be able to do all the things I do if I did go back to college to become a counselor or whatever. And honestly, I don't want to be a counselor. Like, I love doing what I do because I can come on here. I can pick when I want to share and when I want to be with a whole bunch of people. If I was a counselor, I would have to work, 8 to 5 every day. I would have to have, tons of clients, probably way too many to keep up with and not get paid enough, you know. And for me, I'm the kind of person that when I'm helping somebody out, I get really, really into it. Hey, babe, what's up? When did you get home?
Just 2 seconds ago.
Okay, I'm live though, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay. What was I saying? Okay, when I help people out, I want to be able to really, really help them and connect with them, right? I would only be able to do so much working as a counselor. You know what I'm saying? And so I enjoy doing what I'm doing here. I like being able to say, okay, I've been online helping people for an hour now. I'm going to take a little bit of time off and go chill out. Oh, this was what I was going to say. I usually I get so into somebody's sobriety that I usually want them to be sober more than they want to be sober. And that's a problem, okay? And so if I worked in a professional setting, I would find myself in trouble a lot because I would care so much about people succeeding that I would be working their program for them. That's how much I want them to make it, you know? And so it'd be really hard for me to follow the rules and set boundaries for myself because I just want people to really get serious, and I want them to pay attention, and I want them to be in recovery. I want them to make it, you know? So I kind of struggle with that. You know, my sponsor has told me many times, she's like, you cannot want recovery for them more than they want it. Like, they have to want it, Nicole. You cannot do it for them. In Norway, we get Suboxone for free. Man, you know what, Britt? So many places in different countries, y'all have so much better health care than we do here in the United States. Like, here, it is so expensive, honey. Let me just tell you something. Back in the day, there used to not be a generic for Suboxone. So you had to buy the name brand subs, right? $300 for a prescription of Suboxone. $400 for a prescription for Suboxone. $600 for a prescription of Suboxone. For real. Thank God when me and my husband first got on them, we had insurance. And so, or we didn't have insurance at first. At first, we didn't have insurance, and we paid out of pocket. And I had to get a script, and he had to get a script. And I want to say we were probably paying $200 a piece for both of our scripts. So we were spending $400 on our medicine plus another $200 for our appointments. So that's another $1,200 a month for medication and appointments. And so then my husband got a job, and we got insurance, and that saved our asses. Then they started making it to where there were generic Suboxone strips, and that also made it a lot cheaper. But it was hardcore, you know. And I know a lot of people, because Suboxone costs money, a lot of people struggle to get on Suboxone because they don't have the resources to do it. And so what I do when somebody reaches out to me and they don't have the resources to get their Suboxone, I hook them up with a resource that is getsuboxone.com. Okay. So this guy, his name, I don't know what his name is, but he owns this thing called getsuboxone.com. If you're struggling with like the amount of money that is to get them, he will go online and find like ways for you to get your Suboxone treatment for free or paid by Medicaid or Medi-Cal or whatever. And so that's what I do. I set people up with that. Find a free, cheap Suboxone treatment center. That's what he does. Hey, what's up, Jen? Without insurance. And so it says, introduction to finding a cheap Suboxone treatment clinic with no insurance. And it says, go to the SAMHSA Suboxone treatment locator page, type your zip code in the SAMHSA locator, click the substance use drop-down menu, show free, cheap Suboxone facilities only. And that'll show you on there. So, hey, Tiffany, what's up, girl? So anyway, that's what I do for people all day long, right? All day long. I don't get paid for it. I do it because I just do it. Out of the goodness of my heart, I do it. And so, yeah, if you guys have any questions and you want to, like, if you have any questions for me about what I do, how long I've been sober, how I got sober, anything, you can ask me anything, okay? I had court yesterday and they closed my case. Oh, was it a CPS case? Was that what happened, Jen? Because I thought I saw you talking about something like that online. I'm not sure, though. Y'all, my hair has been like so soft and growing out so nice. Like, I'm really happy with it. I started the laundry and everything.
Okay. Thank you.
Child custody case with her dad. No CPS was involved. Okay, good, good, good. So what happened? Are y'all just splitting custody, or do you have full custody? And a lot of you guys have followed me like since I started into.
Furniture?
Do what?
Did you move the furniture?
That's your mom.
Oh.
She was here cleaning and all this stuff. She said somebody's going to come and make an offer on the house.
They're gonna what?
Somebody's going to come and make an offer on the house. That's why I need you to talk to her, Neil, and find out like what her expectations are. Because she said she needed us to stay here, so we went ahead and stayed here, and now we're in a position where we owe taxes, like we need to know, like she needs to know that, hey, maybe we need to wait until the first of the year when we got all of our money straight before we move out. So what I need you to do is I need you to talk to her about that. Because she was wishy-washy and wanted us to stay here, and now she wants us not to stay here. I know you know what I'm saying. Okay, cool. So, just so y'all know, like, because of the job that I have, I file taxes on a 1099. And so my job doesn't take taxes out of my paycheck, okay? So, every month I get paid, and I'm supposed to take out, 15% or whatever and save it. So what I do is I take $1,000 out of my check every month and I put it into my savings account. Well, when we filed our taxes, we were under the impression that when we filed our taxes that my husband, because he works, that his shit would like balance my shit out. And so I might owe a couple $1,000s, right? No. I owe $8,000 in taxes. And so we're like, whoa, wait a second. And when my husband did my taxes, he, because I work from home, I work from home. We filled out that part where I work from home and everything, so you can have deductions, right? And so our taxes came out to be 4,000 something. So we went ahead and we sent the 4,000 into the IRS. Well, they send us back a thing saying that something was wrong on our return and that we owe another 4,000. And we're like, no. So now we're just waiting for them to reach out to us because we've tried to call them and everything, and we cannot get a hold of the damn IRS because they're saying either somebody's social security number was wrong, one of the dependents was too old, and it's like we only have one dependent and he's 8 years old. You know what I mean? So $8,000, like, we have the rest of the money, but I really don't want to spend it on, taxes. I want to use it for moving out. And so my mother-in-law, a couple of months ago, she had asked us to stay living here. We were looking for apartments, actively looking for apartments, and she had us come over to eat dinner, and she talked to my husband. She said, I want you guys to stay in the house, please, while I get it fixed up and everything, and then you can move out. So what we did was we went ahead and planned that, okay, well, we're going to stay. Then a month or two later, she calls and says, never mind, I need y'all to leave. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. Like, you can't do that. Like, this is a big jump for us. We're going from, living here in this house that we've lived in for 7 years to, finding our own place, which is fine. Like, fine. I'm excited to get my own place. You know what I mean? I really am excited about it. I want to have my own place. I want to be able to like decorate and stuff like that, my way. But like, I want to be prepared, and I don't want to just like jump out and be like struggling for cash and not have enough money, and that kind of thing. And so, yeah, that's what I mean when I say we need to talk to her about it, because we might need to like set it out for a little bit, wait till we do our taxes again, or do our taxes quarterly. Like right now we could do them and find out I would probably owe more, and then that would just add on to it. You see what I'm saying? So we really got to get everything in line, because moving into a new place, I was looking at these new places online. I'll tell you the one I was looking at. Hold on. in his room or downstairs, I think. I'm going to show you all the apartments I'm looking at, okay? Okay, so.
Dad, what are you doing?
Their apartments. Hold on. Apartments on Sam Peck.
According to Apartments.com, about 4120 Sam Peck Road, Little Rock, Arkansas, 72223 Zoan for Don Roberts Elementary.
Don
1
Roberts.
minute from LR Athletic Club.
Okay.
5 minutes from I-430.
Okay, so show 2 bedrooms, okay? So for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment or townhouse, right? It's like $1,200. How much is that? $1,065 a month for rent, okay? And then your down payment, I think they said, is like $200 or $300, which is not bad at all. Not bad at all. And so I'm looking at these apartments that are like right down the street from us. Like we could literally walk there, you know what I mean? And move in. And they're really nice. They have like balconies. They have 2 pools, a gym. Super nice. Super nice. Okay. Yeah, that's how much they are. That's how much it is to rent here in Arkansas. How much is it where y'all live? Oh, it says is there not any 2 bedrooms available? Not available. Oh crap. Now I guess I need to look somewhere else. Maybe they're all filled up. How much are they where you guys live? Oh yeah, it's cheap here. Apartments, that one's not, they don't have an opening there. So I'm gonna have to look for another one. Hold on. It's there. I just want to find something close to where we're at already because I want my son to be able to go to the same school. So they have these other ones. They're called Arbors of Pleasant. I don't like those ones though. They are kind of older. I want them to kind of be newer. You know what I mean? Here, we'll go to Zillow and look. Oh wow, really? I'll probably get a 2-bedroom for like $1,500 here in Arkansas. Okay, so let's look. And we were going to buy a house, like remember that? But whenever we went to, listen to this, whenever we went to, do the house and everything, we went out and looked at it. They were going to build it. It was super affordable, like no problems, right? And then we went to get a loan, right? My husband went to get a loan and we went through their preferred lender, okay?
Mom,
yeah, buddy.
is that game downloaded?
Yeah, but I'm looking up apartments real fast. Okay, I'll let you play. Never mind. I'll let you play. Here.
Because I've never played it. My friend.
It's downloaded. There it is.
Zane told me it's a really
Okay,
good
so
game.
we went to go to...
Can I go downstairs and tell Dad?
Yeah, just don't drop my computer and don't set it on anything wet. We went to... My husband went to go get a loan from their preferred lender. Because if we used their preferred lender, then they would take off like $4,000 and something else, right? So we wanted to use their preferred lender. We go there, we have our shit ran and all that, and the preferred lender is like, so first of all, they wanted us to put down $20,000, have my car paid off, which I only owe $2,000 on my car. So yeah, we could do that. We could pay off my car, get my husband's student loan deferred, which we did. And what else do they want? I think they wanted one other thing too. Oh, a credit card that we had. I think it has like $500 on it to pay it off, right? And then we could get the loan, but we still had to put $20,000 down. And we were like, what's the point of getting a loan if we're going to put down $20,000, you know? And so we were just like, fuck that. No, we can't put down $20,000. And so that's when we decided, we'll just get an apartment, a little apartment. And then all this shit started happening in the world, and now house prices have skyrocketed. So houses that are for sale here in our neighborhood that usually go for like $180,000 are on sale for $300,000. And these houses are built like back in the 70s and shit. And so that's why I was telling you guys about my mom and dad getting a life insurance plan on me. And that my dad, when I went over there a couple weeks ago, he said, you know, me and your mom took out 2 life insurance plans on you when you were in your active addiction. And one of them, it can be cashed out, and it's about $10,000. And so we're going to give it to you. And I was like, hot damn! So I'll have that $10K, and then my husband's mom's giving him another $10,000. And so we'll have like $20,000 when we do decide to get our own house, right? But that's why I have my son. I bought my son a life insurance plan, and my husband has life insurance on me, and we have life insurance on him. Because if you buy your child a life insurance plan, like we have Nate, a Gerber life insurance plan, when Nate's 18, we can cash it out and give it to him. Or when he's 30, however old we want to do. If we want to cash it out, we can cash it out. And I think it was Trashly came and commented, and she's like, how can you cash it out if the person doesn't die? Well, with life insurance, you're paying the premium. You're paying for it every month. So every month, you know, like $50 comes out of our account towards Nate's life insurance plan. And so the way I understand it is if something happened and he passed away, we have that life insurance, whatever has built up into it, you know, they would help pay his funeral and stuff. But if we want to cash it out, we can cash it out and get the cash value for it. That's how I understand it. I'm not really sure about it, but I know that you can cash it out, you know. See, when my mom and dad bought their first house, my dad and mom didn't have to have a down payment. Like, my dad had, you know, they had credit, they had all the stuff that they needed, and they didn't really want a down payment. That's why my dad was like, you shouldn't have to pay a down payment like that. That's like out of control. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know if it has to be a certain policy, but I know that you can cash out your life insurance plans. Heck yeah. And so my dad is always like thinking of me and my sisters and trying to help us out in the financial situations. So, you know, like I said, he got insurance plans on all of us. And if we don't croak out, then he'll give them to us. That's what I'm talking about, Kelsey. Yes. First-time home owners. Yes. Okay, thank you. Yes. Yeah, you work for, okay, cool. And some of them, I don't think you can do that. I think some of them, you know, you have to have it for like a certain amount of years if you wanted to do that. Like, it has to go on for like 15 years. And then after those 15 years, you could maybe cash it out, you know? So, but that money has just built up. And now I'll be able to use it for something for our home, you know? And so, you know, me and my husband, I'm 40, Neil's like 45, you know, we're really behind, you know, all of our friends have already bought in houses. And we were in active addiction, you know, for so many years. And so everything that we're doing is just like, you know, I feel like we're so behind in life. But anyway, y'all want to talk about anything before I get off here? Is there anything y'all want to know? Talk to me. Like I said, tonight if y'all are interested in coming to the live stream, we're going to do chapter 2. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. Okay, hold on. Hey! All right, so this book right here is called Recovery, Freedom from Our Addictions by Russell Brand. 7 p.m. Central, so in 3 hours. Okay, and he does the steps 1 through 12, right? And so the other day we did step 1 on a live stream. Yeah, it's good. We read all the first chapter together, and then answered all the questions. And now we're going to do step 2, which is, could you not be fucked? And so I'll read it to you guys. Step 2, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. This step is about hope. We've just admitted we have a problem and that our lives had become unmanageable. It's normal to accept this kind of admission will come as a blow to the ego. It is our ego who up until now has been running the show with a bit of help from whatever behavior or substance we've just been forced to accept is a problem. After I admitted I had a problem, I felt weak and pathetic. I felt cracked. Even thinking about not using drugs made me feel hopeless. This is because drugs gave me comfort and the power I needed to survive. Okay? And so that's just the beginning of it. So we're doing that step 2 tonight. If y'all want to come hang out, I would love for y'all to come hang out with us and do the step with us. No, this is the Russell Brand Freedom from Our Addictions. If y'all want step studies from the AA, I did those on my YouTube channel like 2 or 3 years ago, and I have a whole playlist going from the doctor's opinion all the way to step 12. And it's fun. It's fun. But I didn't want to do like AA on here, y'all, because like I said, I've really gotten out of the program because of like people being judgmental, people just being weird, right? And I just don't like that. I don't like people judging people. I don't like how people in AA like look down on people who are like me, who use medication assisted treatment. I don't care what you say. A lot of people in those programs do. I know because I went to them. And you see it all the time here on TikTok, right? Like, did y'all see that one guy? What his name? His name is Blake Speaks Fire, whatever his name is. Like, that dude went on for like days talking shit about being on subs, telling people that they're weak because they won't stop taking their Suboxone. I mean, just crazy shit. And this dude is screaming from the rooftops that he loves Jesus. You know what I mean? And it's like, what? And that's like the vibe that I get from a lot of people in AA, is that they truly believe that like without AA and God, that they wouldn't be sober and that they wouldn't make it. You know what I mean? And they make it. We can talk about this a little bit before I get off. Okay, so, and I was one of these people, so that's why I can talk about it. Okay, so what they do is that the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous becomes their identity. Okay, and so anything outside of that to them is wrong, right? If you try to talk about, MAT or Kratom or refuge recovery or smart recovery, right? They get super defensive and angry about it. And that's what I've been seeing happening here on TikTok with a bunch of people, is they're getting angry because that one guy, Dan, is trying to share his different program that he created called Co-Create Oneness. He made this program and it has 9 steps, and basically it's on the basis of like your words have power and all that kind of stuff, right? And so he created this, and people are just busting his balls for it, and it's like, come on now, man. I totally get it. I think it's awesome that he has kind of tried to do his own thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with what he's saying. I totally support that, and I believe that our words do have power. And I can tell you this: when I stopped talking negative to myself, when I stopped saying I can't do this, and I kept telling myself I can't do this, I'm gonna fail, I'm never gonna make it. When I changed my inner dialogue with myself and I started talking about how I'm gonna succeed and how much I'm doing better, that's when my life started to improve, when I started speaking it into existence. And so I believe that. I support that,
You're on the bathroom?
No, I'm just washing my hands. Yeah, that was that Blake guy. And he was just like screaming and yelling about it, saying mean stuff. You know what I mean? Mean stuff. It's like, it's all good, dude, if you don't like subs, but you don't have to talk shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. The only thing that I think that Dan needs to change is that, so here's the thing. Like, I understand what he's doing, but in order to connect in order to attract people to his program, he doesn't have to like constantly down the 12-step programs. And I think that's where he's going wrong, and that's where a lot of people are getting upset. Like, I totally understand, like, talking about his own personal experience and the bad experience that he had in AA, but I think that's what he should leave it at that, because after you go back and forth so many times just bashing on the program, then it just looks like you're just bashing on the program. It doesn't look good, you know? And so I don't think you should have to bash on another program to build your program up. If your program is legit, right, then you speaking about what it's about and how it works and all that kind of stuff, then that should be enough to attract people to it, you know? So that would be like me coming on here and downing another girl let's say another girl, I got an example. So Tiffany, my friend Tiffany, decided to start interviewing people on her TikTok lives, right? And so, you know, basically in the recovery community, I was the first person who started interviewing people on lives way back in like 2020. And so I could have been like, wait a second, you're stealing that, right? You're taking my idea or whatever. And constantly say like, Tiffany's lives aren't good. You should come to my lives. Like, bashing her to bring myself up isn't going to make my shit any better, you know? Recently relapsed, stole and took 3/4 of my dad's old hydros. He had surgery and never took them. Oh, I feel ashamed and so guilty. Oh, that's okay. Listen to me. You don't need to be ashamed, all right? I'm so afraid he's going to see that the bottle is basically empty. Well, I mean, if he hasn't taken them, he probably don't care. You know what I mean? But if you feel like that bad about it, why don't you talk to him about it? And be honest. You know? I know it's kind of nerve-wracking, but being honest is always the best thing you can do. Because when we keep it a secret and we lie about it, that's how, you know, shit starts fucking falling apart. And you probably didn't get that high if you just had some hydros. Especially if they were super old. Going to see. It's okay. Listen to me. It's not about being strong, okay, Kitty? Listen, if you try to stay sober on willpower alone, you will continue to have problems with relapsing, okay? It's not about being strong, all right? What it's about, you need to build a support network, okay? What were you doing to stay sober? What was your program? What was your support network? How were you staying sober? Were you doing meetings? Were you going to church? Were you fellowshipping with other people? Did you have a mentor? Did you have a sponsor? Were you doing therapy? Anything. Or were you just sitting at home not using drugs? See, that what happens a lot of times is what we'll do is we think, okay, I got to lock myself at the house so I can't go anywhere. That way I don't use drugs. Here, Jenna, you go outside. Go ahead, baby. We end up locking ourselves at home so we don't use drugs, right? And we're miserable, right? We're just holed up in our house, miserable. I was doing therapy, then I stopped. You know the deal. You know the answer to your own question, okay? So you stopped doing your therapy, then the stinking thinking started coming in. You started thinking about ways you could get high, things that you could do, and bada bing, bada boom. Fall Girl says, I thought it was fine to drink because it's legal, but now I want to drink anytime I'm stressed. Yeah, so I'm not like, I don't have a problem with alcohol, but I'm going to share something with you guys. But when I was younger, I was an alcoholic. Like, I drank all the time to get drunk. So I had been sober for like 6 years, right? And I went on this trip to Tennessee with my boss and everybody. And while we were there, we were going in and out of these Nashville bars, right? We were bar hopping, just having the time of our life. And they were all drinking, right? And so I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to have myself a drink. So I bought a drink. and I drank it. I bought an Amaretto sour, and I had that drink, right? And I was like, what a fucking waste of money. I was so mad because I drank it, and then I bought another drink. And I was like, I'm not even getting a buzz. What a waste of money. $13 a drink. I was so angry at myself. I was like, forget this. Like, I'm not going to do it anymore. So the next bar we went to, I just got like Coke or water or something. But I thought, because I had been taught through AA that, you know, if I drink, I'm going to go off the deep end, I'm going to lose my recovery, and I'm going to get fucking high, right? That's not what happened at all. I drank alcohol, and it was a disappointment, and it was a fucking letdown. You know what I mean? And so I just don't do it. It's not my thing. Even if I could do it and get drunk a bunch, let's say I had alcohol at the house, I don't want to get drunk and stay checked out of life 24/7. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I want to be present with my family. But I can see why, like, now that you've had a little bit of the drink and you know you can handle it, our brains, because we're drug addicts, right? Our brains want to escape. And so you're probably thinking, oh, well, I can do it. Like, I'm not going to fucking go get high. So I can just have a drink every now and then, or I can have a drink to let loose and not feel stressed out. That's when it becomes a problem, right? Because you start feeling stressed out and you start drinking to cope with the stress instead of using your coping skills. Hey, Ashley, what's up, girl? Instead of using your coping skills that you learned in your recovery. Fall Girl says, it's when I'm stressed after work, I use it to relax, but it just keeps getting more and more. Exactly. And that's what will happen. It will sneak up on you. And before you know it, you'll be drinking a fifth of vodka every night, you know? I started Wellbutrin yesterday. Oh, how you feeling? Jonah, how you feeling, girl? Joanna. Yeah. Normal coping skills. It's hard, man. Believe me, I know. Believe me, I understand. When I got sober, I had to start learning how to talk about what I was feeling and what I was struggling with, because I would get triggered or feel like shit. And I'm the kind of person that, like, I'm not quiet. Like, people are going to know that I'm struggling, I'm upset. And I get loud and I get disgruntled and I'm just mad. And I was just like griping all the time. That's not helping my recovery at all. And so I had gotten into therapy and I started talking to my therapist every 2 weeks. And she helped me so, so much. And now when I'm struggling, I come online and I talk about what I'm struggling with. I share how I'm feeling with you guys. This is like my journal, you know, like my diary. That's why I came on here today to talk about the harassment, because I've been going through that for the last year. And when I tell you guys, during the winter time, I almost didn't make it, you know, because that's how depressed I was. That's how much it was affecting my mental health and my physical health, because I was holding myself up in this house depressed, you know, because it hurts when you see people talking about your looks and your weight and your teeth, saying that you're not sober because you're on Suboxone. That's another thing that they say, that I'm not in recovery because I'm on subs, that I'm a terrible person. That fucking shit gets to you after a while, you know? Hey, that's awesome. I'm so glad I'm so glad not alone, for sure. Oh, here comes Sober JoJo. What's up, girl?
How are you?
I'm good. What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm just hanging out at home.
Girl, we totally stood each other up the other day.
I know. I'm sorry.
I forgot. I forgot all about it.
I did too.
So no,
we got to reschedule.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's going on with your Suboxone? How are you doing on it?
I'm good. So I found that I was pregnant, so I'm gonna get on Subutex.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're pregnant. I saw that video. So
Yeah.
how many months do you know?
So I'm about 8 weeks. But she thinks that no, sorry, I'm 7 weeks, but she thinks that I may be 8.5, only because of how long I've been sick. But I have my first ultrasound next Friday, so she'll tell me exactly like how far along.
Are you throwing up a lot?
Yes.
Yeah. I was the same way. When
Yeah.
I got pregnant with Nate, it was probably like my second month that I started like puking really, really bad. And I mean, everywhere. When I woke up, I would have to puke every day. When I would go to work, I would work. During the day, if I smelled anything at work, I would go, and I was working for Sonic. So I was eating Sonic. I was eating hot, those cheddar peppers and extra long cheese conies with mustard and onions. And so my husband would pick me up after work and I'd be drinking a slushie and all of a sudden it'd all start coming up. I puked out of Neil's truck and it was so cold that my puke froze to the fucking side of the truck.
Oh my gosh, Jesus, you had it rough.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so happy for you, girl. I need to know this. So I had no idea. I thought the guy that you're dating now was like the guy that you had been with the whole time until I started like looking around and I realized like she's not with her old man anymore. What happened?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So honestly, like it just was not a good relationship. And he also, so for example, we're all in recovery. Like Robert, like, which is my fiance now, he's also in recovery. And my ex, Alex, he was also in recovery. So I'm not the type to, like, for example, if someone relapses, I'm not just going to up and leave. It doesn't work that way. You know, like I'm going to try to help that person first. Like if it gets to a certain point, then enough is enough. But with Alex, basically when I got out of treatment, I was finally clean. He started using heroin again, like IV. And
wow, really?
Yes.
After
and I was
seeing
like,
you relapse and almost dying like that?
yes.
Oh,
yes.
man.
I was like, number one, I can't do that because I was like, I'm finally clean and I'm finally happy. And like, I got it, but I was like, I don't want that. I knew at that moment when I got back from treatment that I did not want that. So that was the number one thing. And then the second thing was I just started realizing that like everything that I wanted in life, our ideals just didn't line up. And it was one of those situations where I kind of fell out of love a long time ago. So it was really just signing the papers and saying we're going on our own way. But yeah, so it was a lot of things.
Y'all were married, right?
Yeah, we were married. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, okay, that's cool. How did you meet this other guy?
We met in IOP.
Girl, that's a rehab romance.
I know. We in treatment. Like IOP is treatment, but we didn't meet like inpatient. We met IOP. But yeah, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, it ended up working out and like here we are. So
it's fine. People will tell you, oh, you can't do that. It'll never work. Me and my husband, we met when we were in active addiction. We ended up getting sober together. Now we've been together for like 10 years. 10 years.
Wow.
So awesome. It can work. If y'all want it to work, it'll work. Y'all are getting married?
It's like, well, yeah, we're engaged right now. And we plan on getting married maybe next November. And then the baby should be here like end of February, early March.
Wow. So you'll have 2 years sober when your baby comes.
Yeah, well, it'll not 2 years exactly because I'm about to be a year now in September. It'll be like a year and a half.
Okay. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. When you got on Suboxone, how was it when you first got on Suboxone? Tell everybody about that. Because she was sober for 9 months, y'all, before she got on subs because she was going to relapse. So she made the decision to get on Suboxone instead of go out and get high.
Yeah, which a lot of people gave me hate for because they were like, you just want to get high. And I'm like, I will be the first to admit that shit had me fucked up.
Oh, like, I know, girl. I know. But it's not to me, it's not like you're messed up, but it's not like a good feeling fucked up. It's like almost too much.
Yes, you feel so ill. Like it is not an enjoyable high that I mean, I know some people abuse it, but like for me, I just wanted it to be done. I was like, I wanted to help me, but I felt so sick. I kept throwing up and stuff and it was not enjoyable. So, but honestly, after those first couple days, I was just like, wow, it's so awesome that there's a medication out there where I don't have to suffer with my thoughts, just to suffer. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's a means for me to stay sober and not have to also think every day, oh my God, I want to relapse. I want to relapse. I want to relapse. Like I don't know, it's incredible. And I'm so thankful there's a medication like that, and it saves so many people's lives, and it makes so many people's like quality of life so much better. And I'm so grateful that I can be on it, because then I can continue to further my recovery instead of, who knows, maybe I would have died. Another relapse in me, I would be dead.
Yeah.
So I was able to choose another option.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
So
Well,
yeah.
people, like, I saw what your sponsor said and everything, and it's like, people, I don't know why people are so against Suboxone. Like, I really don't understand it. Like, to me, if you got on subs instead of going out and get high, like, I think that's amazing, because you have been on Vivitrol before. You know that Vivitrol doesn't really work for you. I don't think it really works for anybody that has opiate use disorder. I know it works for alcohol, but I don't think it works for opiates at all.
As some people said that, some people tell me it has, but for alcohol, yes. Like for me, I know that it does not, for cravings, it does nothing at all. Like this is the first time, like if I take my Suboxone correctly and I take my doses correctly, I have no cravings. And I've never been able to experience that with any other way. Like what frustrated me is that when I told people, because everyone was like, well, just don't tell people you're on Suboxone. I'm like, to me, that's not the principle. The principle is I should be able to say I'm on Suboxone and still be supported, not lie about it. My new life now, I don't want to have to lie in my new life. So it just didn't make sense. But people were like, I lost my, oh no, that, well, now that you're on Suboxone, you will never have that relief of craving by yourself, or that release of the phenomenon. Like they're like,
that's not true. That's not true. I do not say. I've worked the 12 steps many times through with a sponsor, and I like have no obsession to use at all. And I was addicted to multiple substances, meth, cocaine, everything, benzos. Like I was addicted to a lot of stuff. So when people use that like excuse, okay, if Suboxone's not keeping me from using drugs, like I could go use drugs anytime I want to. You know what I mean? Y'all be quiet, I'm live. But people, they think that being on Suboxone is like what's keeping you sober. If it is, and you're not like working some kind of program of recovery, you're in for a fucking rude awakening, because Suboxone cannot keep you sober.
No, exactly. And like, that's what I try to explain to people. I just try to explain to people that Suboxone is just like a tool in my toolbox, basically. But I still have other ways that I stay sober. But the thing is, people refuse to see, they're like, well, it's either 12 step or die. It's like that mentality. And I'm like, that is such a toxic mentality. And in a way, I'm thankful. And I don't talk bad about the rooms, because I know the rooms have saved lots of lives.
Yeah.
And it saved my life in the beginning. It just is not a place in my recovery anymore. But I don't like the mentality that this is the only way to recover, and if you're not part of 12 steps, then you're not really sober, or blah blah blah. Because that's just not true. It's just not true.
They shun you. It's it's like the very program that's supposed to be tolerant and patient and loving and help you love yourself, and help you love yourself until you can love yourself. That same program is the same program her sponsor, you guys, was literally like, you've relapsed. I'm not working with you because you're on Suboxone. You're getting high right now. And I could not believe that she was saying that, especially typing that shit out. You know what I mean? Like, damn, dude, like, you really think that? Also, I think a lot of people who have never abused like fentanyl or opiates, I don't think they understand that opiate addiction is different than just like meth addiction or cocaine. It's a lot different. I think a lot of people have like a more likely to relapse that are coming off opiates than any other drug.
And that's been proven, like, and that's why I love where you come from, because you also come from an educational standpoint, and you are someone who has experienced multiple addictions. So you can say it, like, coming from your mouth, it's okay also, because you've experienced all these different things. And that's what I've tried to explain to people before. I've told them, not saying like, oh, opiate addiction is worse. No, but I tell them like statistics show that relapse rates are higher for people that are coming off of opiates, and there's less other than Suboxone, there's less things like I don't know, it's hard to explain, but my sponsor, she was only ever addicted to meth. And I tried to explain to her, like, you know, I'm not getting high off of this medication. I'm just using it as a tool. And I told her, I don't plan on being on this for life. I said, I really felt like I was going to relapse. Like in my mind, that was my only option. And then I saw Suboxone and I was like, you know what? Okay, maybe why don't I try this out for a while? And it's been phenomenal in my journey. So it was just frustrating because, like you said, it really was. Everyone that I thought was they all shunned me. None of them speak to me anymore.
Can you
Like
believe
not
that?
one of them.
Like this,
And
you made friends with these people and were with these people for 9 months. And because you got on a maintenance medication, they totally dropped you.
Yep.
That's crazy to me, dude. That's crazy. Like, I don't know. I can't are qualified to tell you what is good for your mental health and what medications are okay for you to take. And like that is literally deadly. That's their ego getting in the way of what they're supposed to really be practicing in the program, which is when a sponsee comes to you and says, you know, I need to get on medication, you're supposed to tell your sponsee to go to the doctor, that's something that they need to discuss with their doctor. It's not anything that needs to be discussed with your sponsor at all.
And what's crazy is I know my literature, and in the literature, it literally states that if you are, like, for example, some people within Narcotics Anonymous will have to go to doctors, psychiatric care, all those things, and that has nothing to do with the program. Like, so what's crazy is that the book even says that we can outside care, and that has nothing to do with the program, but yet people within the program make it to where like almost they get to decide what's okay and what isn't.
They pick and choose. Let me tell you this.
Yes.
My sponsor has 41 years sober, and she is on Xanax for her anxiety.
Yeah.
She told her sponsor, hey sponsor, like I'm having anxiety attacks. And she got on it like probably 20 years into her sobriety. And her sponsor was like, okay, you know, you got to get on medicine, do what you got to do for your mental health. And nobody says a thing about her celebrating her 41 years. And that's the thing, like they pick and choose. There are people in Alcoholics Anonymous who are on pain medication because they have chronic pain. Nobody says that they're not in recovery.
Yep.
It's crazy to me. Sorry, I had to take my medicine, but that's crazy to me that they don't see how that is like hypocritical, you know, just because opiate medication, like Suboxone, I'm telling y'all, like when you take Suboxone every day, there's no feeling produced by this medication. When you've been taking it every day for 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it is just like taking a vitamin in the morning. You take your medicine and you feel normal. There's no like super boost of energy or nothing like that. Like to me, there's not. I just feel normal. That's it.
Yeah. And like for me, being someone who hasn't even been on it that long, I can agree with you. Like other than the first couple days, and I really mean like the first 3 days, after that, I felt like it was a medication I've been on for a long time, and I didn't get any weird side effects from it. And that's what I've tried to tell people. I'm like, I'm on other medications. Like I take antidepressants, like different things. I take ADHD medicine, all that stuff, and I don't abuse any of it. I take all of it as prescribed in the morning, 8 a.m., and whatever. But another crazy thing is my sponsor, not her, but her sponsor, when I first got to the program, I had told her, like, you know, I'm someone who I go to a psychiatrist because I struggle with depression and anxiety. And this was just me telling her out of like, we were having a personal conversation. And she then asked, well, are you on any medication? And I know that's not her business. But again, being honest, I just told her, you know what, I'm on antidepressants, all that stuff. And she told me that her sponsor believes that, like, does not believe in people taking mental health meds either. And that what they should do is for the first year of sobriety, they should work on themselves and on the program, because honestly, who isn't depressed after coming off of drugs? And I'm like, that is such a toxic mentality, because do you know how many people, it's been proven that people with substance use disorder, over like 80% of us have co-occurring mental illnesses that need to be treated. That when those are treated, we're less likely to relapse. But I don't know.
They're the same way here in Arkansas, girl. There's a whole sponsorship family in AA where the main grand sponsor, if you become a sponsee of one of her sponsees and you're on mental health medications, they tell you to stop taking your mental health medications. Like for real. Yeah. I don't think, and again, like what they're choosing like what medications you can take. You know what I mean? Like, okay, sponsor. So what about if you have pain? What about if you anything like Suboxone is not your whole program. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand. I think, and I'm not anybody that's on methadone, I love you. I support you, but just hear me out. A lot of people have a bad thought of what Suboxone does because of the way methadone has been abused by people that are utilizing it. A lot of people will get their methadone, take benzos with it, and get real fucked up and show up to these AA and NA meetings nodding out on their methadone. And that's been happening for years, right? And so I think people, they think, oh, well, Suboxone is just like methadone. So they're just going to come in here and they're going to be high. And I believe that if you're on a proper dose of methadone, that won't happen to you, right? But we've seen it even with my friend Chrissy. She's on like a low milligram of methadone. She's even made videos about it, like sharing about it. Like at 5 a.m. she'll get up, she'll go to the clinic to get her bottles or whatever. And when she comes home, she'll take a shower, and then she goes to work, and she would tape herself on the way to work talking to us. And she took one of those videos that she just took her medicine in the morning, and one of the videos now that she's on like a real lower dose. And you could visibly see the difference in her. Her eyes were real low like this, and she was, it gives you a feeling. And that's because methadone is not a partial opioid agonist like Suboxone is. It's a full one. So that way, that's why you get that feeling when you take it. And it is what it is. Like, it's the truth. I took methadone. I know, I'm not dogging you out. If you're on a low dose that is stable, you will be fine. I totally support that. But a lot of people just keep going up and up and up and up until they're like on 200-300 milligrams of methadone and just messed up out of their minds. And I think that gives people a bad idea of what medication assisted treatment is, because back in the day, like I've seen a documentary on it. People would go to these clinics like in New York, and they had talked about it. Like, we go get our methadone and then we take some bars and it's the perfect mix and da-da-da-da-da. And that has really created a stigma, I think, even more about Suboxone treatment, And then there's people like that Blake guy, Blake Speaks Fire or whatever, who say things like, I know Suboxone is horrible. I took Suboxone and I had the worst withdrawal of my life because he jumped off Suboxone cold turkey. What the hell? You know what I mean?
Well, that frustrating. Like, one thing that we would talk about, like one thing I disliked about my home group is that they would always say, there would always be people in there talking shit about Suboxone. And one thing that they would say is like, oh, you're just going to like a legal dope clinic, basically, and you're just getting legal dope. And that was frustrating because like this, and I wasn't on Suboxone at the time yet, but I knew there were people sitting in that room that were. And it's just frustrating because every single person I know that's on Suboxone, like, you can see the difference between who they were in active addiction and who they are today, because who I am today, like taking Suboxone, whatever, that's not the same person. And like, these people are like parents today. They are like productive members of society. They're not like people that are in active addiction, that are addicts. So it's just frustrating when you see that, because that pushes people away. And that I saw all the time. And sadly, sometimes that leads to deaths for some people. So I don't want to say that it was hurtful when all those things happened, but in a way, I'm kind of glad I left the rooms, because I see so many things that were being taught just this one way, and that's not how I want to live my life. And I don't want to live my life being judgmental towards other people. Like, at the end of the day, the only thing I can do is worry about my program, because I have to worry about living my life and staying alive. Like, who am I to try to sit here and worry about what the rest of the world is doing, you know?
Yeah.
So
I absolutely
I don't know.
agree, girl, for real. And I can't imagine like being in an NA or an AA meeting all grouped up dogging out Suboxone. I bet you $500 there's a person in that group who is on subs and just isn't saying anything and
That's
feels like
exactly
complete shit.
That's
You know?
exactly what he used to say. Like, I guarantee you some of those people were on Suboxone, or they are on it, and they just don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
But that was like, I just wanted to be, I wasn't telling the whole world I was on it, but I wanted to be honest with, like, at least who it counted, and it just ended up being this whole other thing. But it taught me a lot, so I'm glad it happened.
I understand. When I came out and I started openly sharing about being on Suboxone, it wasn't so much my like AA home group, but it was like when I came on online and I started sharing my story, and it was people in the program that were online like bullying me and telling me I shouldn't be telling my story. This is way back in like 2016. You shouldn't be sharing. You shouldn't be up here talking. You're not even in recovery. I still get it to this day, like on Reels on Facebook. It's blowing up over there, and I've gained like 20,000 followers in like a month. And these people will come to my Reels and comment and say, how can you sit up here and talk about being sober when you're not sober? And I'm just like, what? Like, how you think I'm high right now? This one woman, she was like, I'm going to do everything in my power to let everybody know that you're not really sober. And I'm like, I tell people that I'm on Suboxone. Like, I'm here to support people that are like me. I'm here for people who are just like me. That is why I'm telling my story. And then when people started doing that to me in the recovery community back in 2016, it just made me want to share even more, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to succeed. I'm going to build a following. I'm going to have a YouTube channel. I'm going to do all this, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to be like, yo, I got an army behind me. You know what I'm saying? I have an army of people that are on MAT now, and it's amazing how much support, because it used to not be like that. It literally used to be like, I felt like I was at war fighting and I was all alone. You know what I mean? Because people were afraid to say that they were on MAT, totally afraid. I mean, and then slowly but surely people started coming up and saying, you know what, I'm so glad that you share your story, because I'm on MAT too, and I've been scared to share. It's really different now than it ever was. And also TikTok is really different than any other social media platform. I'm telling you guys, TikTok is what helped me to be able to accept medical marijuana as a form of recovery. TikTok is what helped me to open my mind to accepting people that are on Kratom, because even though I'm on Suboxone, I still thought like, okay, you should only be on stuff that you're prescribed and or abstinent. And I didn't support plant medicine. I thought I didn't. And then when I came to TikTok, I started learning and seeing people that were on plant medicine and they were doing great. And I was like, oh wait, that Amy girl, she really helped me to accept plant medicine. What, baby? What?
Yeah. Do you have that old mouse?
Yeah, it's over there. Daddy has it somewhere. Oh, it's over there behind my computer. But yeah, that's what opened my eyes, because I thought that it was just getting high. You know, I didn't understand that people actually like used it as medicine, like edibles and stuff, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's why I'm glad that things are changing now, and that the recovery community is changing, and like we are seeing more than just like, there really is more than one pathway to recovery. And at the end of the day, for me, like, recovery and sobriety is like so much more than just a definition. It's like a lifestyle. So like, if you truly are living your life differently today than how you used to live it, to me, that's recovery. That's sobriety. Like, maybe it's not the textbook definition of being sober, like, but at the end of the day, I think it's a lifestyle. And if you know deep in your heart that you are not the same person, I feel like that's really all that should matter. It is hard when you get all this outside noise of people telling you you're not sober, but that's what's helped me know. Because I think, when I first got on TikTok, I was very influenced by outside opinion.
Yeah.
Like, that hurt my feelings. and I feel good that I'm at the place now where people can tell me I'm not sober, but I know like I'm not the same person I used to be, and I know that I'm on a tool that is helping me rather than hindering me. So that's all that I need to know.
Anybody who's telling you that you're not in recovery or you're not sober, like, you have to ask yourself, like, how are they? What recovery do they have? We were just talking about this earlier. Like, women and people here online who are attacking you, who are harassing you, who are making videos about you, who are commenting and saying you're not sober, who are saying that you're just trading addictions, like, that's not how a woman or a man in recovery acts or carries themselves. Like, we're supposed to be kind and loving and supportive towards everybody. If you don't like somebody, you just block them and keep it moving. If somebody makes hate videos about you or says nasty things about you, if you want to make a video and respond to it, you respond to it in a way that you educate them. Hey, like I got a comment off somebody's page and it was like, you're not sober, you're just trading one drug for the other. And so I went on there and I talked about how I've been sober for 7 years. Everything in my life has changed. I have my son back. I have a home, a job, a car, everything. And when I was in active addiction, I had none of those things. And so now that I have, like, you can like see it, like I have recovered all the things I lost in my active addiction today in recovery. And I'm sober and of sound mind. That's what sobriety is, without alcohol and of sound mind, right? And so how much recovery does the other person have that's being nasty to you? Like, that really whenever somebody's like that, or they're attacking me or they're harassing me and shit, like, I know right there that they're not working a program of recovery. They're just dry. They're just not using drugs, and they're miserable. So they find ways to like take it out on other people.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's how I was for a long time. Like, I was just strictly just not ingesting drugs, you know,
Right.
that was the only, but I mean, that's changed since then, since the beginning. And like, you really are, it's cool when we get to talk, because you really are one of the small few people who've seen me since the beginning.
Yeah.
I remember when I first talked, you were one of the people like I watched and I reached out to. So it's like, you've seen the difference. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it's come full circle. So it's kind of cool.
I can tell you're in a much better place than you were whenever you came and shared your story on my channel, like last year, I think it was, or
Yes.
maybe it was the end of 2020. But I remember, like, I feel like you were struggling a lot trying to stay sober back then, and you were you were very depressed, and something with trauma was affecting you, because you talked about it too on the live, and I think that's why you relapsed, is because you were you weren't dealing with any of that trauma. You were not working through it, not healing from it. And so, of course, if you have all that and you're not like if you're not like, when I mean work right through it, I mean like therapy, working with your sponsor, going outside and getting fresh air, like all kinds of different things, meditating, whatever you got to do, yoga, like a bunch of stuff. And so, of course, like if you're having that trauma and that depression and everything, and you have no outlet to get it out and to heal, like, of course, you're going to go to your best coping skill, which is getting high, And so I know you were struggling back then. It's hard, man, especially whenever I feel like you were, I don't feel you're lying, but I feel like you're being dishonest with us about a lot of stuff that was going on in your relationship too. I feel like to me, from the outside looking in, I thought you guys had the most amazing relationship. But to me now, I realize that it was something not amazing. But of course, when you're online, you don't want to show people the bad parts of it, of course, right? It's like highlight reels.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's funny, because ever since, like, for example, I pretty much, when I got with Robert, like, my fiance now, like, I was honest about it. Like, there's nothing that I want to hide in my life. So there was a lot of judgment. There were people saying like, wow, you really moved really fast, or just all this stuff. But at the same time, I would tell people, I'm like, you don't know what went on in my last relationship.
Yeah.
The only you see and is if I ever posted on TikTok and what I posted. That's the only thing But other than that, people don't see what goes on behind closed doors. That's with anything. That's not just relationships. That's our life. And that's what I try to explain to people. TikTok is just a highlight reel too.
Yeah.
There's people like us that we can be honest and be transparent, and you can be transparent when things are not going right. But at the end of the day, it's a highlight reel and you show what you want to show. So
Yeah.
people don't really know what's on.
Yeah. And it's hard to be, it's like, I try my hardest to be completely transparent and show everything, every part of my life, even my struggles. But I'll tell you this, like I have learned from people calling CPS on me, people calling the law on me, that if I share something that's really detrimental that's happening in my life in present time, if it's happening, I will not share it until about 6 months later, because there are people in this recovery community and online who you come on and you say, I relapsed, or my husband relapsed, or whatever, and they are gunning to get you hurt and in trouble. And it's like,
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me, dude? Like, I can't even believe it. I never would have imagined that people in recovery would do these kind of things. But, you know, because I'm so naive. I think everybody is trying to be kind and nice and supportive, just like I'm trying to be. No, honey, it ain't like that at all. So you got to protect yourself.
Yeah. And I think things are going to change now too, that I'm having a kid. Like, I'm going to be a lot more fierce of that, like, privacy, because I don't know, we just live in a fucked up world.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm excited to see what you're having, a girl or a boy. That's going to be badass. I hope you have a girl.
Me
You want a
too.
girl?
I want it to be.
Yeah, I'm a boy mom. Like, you know, my son is everything. But I wanted a girl when I got pregnant. But then when I found out that I was having a boy, I'm the kind of mom who needs to be a boy mom. Like, I'm not the kind of mom that's going to dress up my little daughter with all these frillies and stuff. Like, you seem to me like the kind of girl that would put the little bows and all the little lace and everything like that, you know?
That's exactly.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I love you,
I'm like,
girl.
I love you too. I'm glad we got to talk.
Me too.
We'll have a schedule for sure.
Yes, just text me and we'll get you. We'll reschedule you, and you can come on anytime you want. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I'm
You
glad
want me
we got to talk. Have a good night.
You too, baby. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye, woman.
That's my daughter, JoJo. Somebody commented on her TikTok the other day, and they were like, you look like you could be Nicole's daughter. And I was like, you know what? I never thought about that. We kind of do have similar, you know, characteristics. I realized I never told a soul it's not for TikTok. It's for me to work through with my circle. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll tell you, like, I wish that we could come on here and share that kind of stuff. But in my experience, I have shared struggles that my family has went through. And there has been people who tried to hurt me and harm me with my own fucking shit I'm sharing. And so I'm telling you guys, protect yourselves. Protect yourselves. Hey, Anchor Girl, what's up? Anchor Girl, how much more weight have you lost? I was asking about you the other day. Tonight we're doing this book, y'all. Step 2. I haven't been talking about it, but I have been on a really low calorie diet, and I went from 234 to 214. So I've lost 20 pounds, but it's taken me like a month and 2 weeks to do that. And I haven't been saying anything about it because when I come on here and I talk about it, then I get myself I fail. And so I've been just keeping it to myself and eating smaller portions and eating less food. You know what I'm saying? Like, really a lot less than I usually. I was eating such huge portions of food. And then to add insult to injury, I was binging at night. And so that's what was really hurting me. I've been sleeping all through the night for over a month now and not going down to the refrigerator and getting food as I eat some candy, but that's okay. Because I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would go straight to the refrigerator. It's awful. Food is an addiction too, you know? Like, a lot of us get sober and because we don't have the coping skills and we're still trying to learn, we will pick up, food as a way to cope. And that's what happened to me. So, I'm proud of you too, girl. So here's the deal, y'all. I'm going to get off here. I wanted to come on and let y'all know about the bullying and harassment crap, and let people know that if they're going through the same thing, that I'm here to support them, Watch my videos I posted. I posted some true crime videos today, and I'll be back on in 2 hours at 7. Okay, y'all? All right. Love you, girl. Love all y'all. Have a good day. See you tonight.